Perseus, the son of Zeus, faces an impossible challenge to slay the monster Medusa, whose gaze turns people to stone. Armed with the god's gifts and his own bravery, he embarks on a journey that will change the world forever. Can he defeat the impossible and survive his destiny? Tune in to find out. Welcome to Premier Tales. A long time ago, in a beautiful kingdom by the sea, a princess named Danae lived in a tall, dark tower. Her father, King Acrisius, was afraid of a prophecy that said his daughter's son would cause his death. So he locked Danae away, hoping to keep her safe. But fate had other plans. One day the god Zeus, the king of all gods, came to Danae in the form of golden rain. And so Danae gave birth to a son named Perseus. When Perseus was grown, King Acrisius was terrified. He heard that his grandson would someday bring about his doom, so he decided to get rid of Perseus forever. King Acrisius came up with a plan. He sent Perseus on an impossible task. Go and kill Medusa, the gorgon with snakes for hair. Anyone who looks at her will turn to stone. Perseus didn't know how he could do this, but he was brave and decided to go. I will do what I must, he said, stepping out to begin his journey. Before Perseus left, the gods decided to help him. Athena, the wise goddess, gave Perseus a shiny shield that could reflect light. Use this to look at Medusa's reflection so you won't turn to stone, she said. Hermes, the god of travel, gave Perseus sandals that would allow him to fly. These will help you get to Medusa quickly, he told him. Finally, Hades, the god of the underworld, gave Perseus a helmet that made him invisible. Wear this if you ever need to hide from danger, he warned. With these magical gifts, Perseus set out to find Medusa. Perseus flew through dark clouds, across seas, and over mountains. He didn't know how long it would take to find Medusa, but his heart stayed brave. He knew he couldn't return without completing his mission. One day, Perseus landed in a dark, cold land. Here, he met three strange sisters who were blind. They told him where Medusa lived, but they warned him that Medusa was not like any other monster. She is a creature of nightmares, they said. After many days of flying, Perseus finally reached the dark cave where Medusa lived. He was scared, but he knew he had to be brave. Using his shield to look at her reflection, Perseus saw Medusa's terrifying face, her snakes hissing and slithering around her head. Medusa was asleep, and Perseus could see her for what she truly was. She wasn't just a monster, she was once a beautiful woman cursed by the gods. Taking a deep breath, Perseus approached quietly, holding the shield in front of him. He had no choice. If he failed, he would turn to stone, just like everyone else who looked at her. With one powerful swing, Perseus cut off Medusa's head. Her snakes hissed wildly, but it was too late. Medusa was defeated. From her blood, two creatures sprang out, the winged horse Pegasus and the mighty warrior Chrysaor. Perseus was amazed, but he didn't have time to celebrate. He had to leave quickly before the other Gorgons woke up. As Perseus flew back home, he realized that Medusa's head still had its deadly power. He could use it to defeat anyone who threatened him. People could be turned to stone just by looking at it. Perseus flew over villages, and whenever trouble came his way, he used Medusa's head to stop it. He turned dangerous monsters into stone, saving towns and villages along the way. One day, Perseus flew across the sea and saw a beautiful princess named Andromeda chained to a rock. A terrible sea monster was coming to eat her. Perseus knew he had to help. Using Medusa's head, he held it up high and turned the sea monster into stone. Princess Andromeda was saved. Grateful and amazed, Andromeda thanked Perseus. The two of them quickly became friends, and Perseus promised that one day he would return to marry her. As Perseus continued his journey, he began to think about the prophecy, the one that had made his grandfather so afraid of him. Perseus had no idea that he would accidentally fulfill that prophecy in the most surprising way. One day, Perseus entered a town where people were celebrating. He threw a discus in a game, but the discus flew far and struck King Acrisius, Perseus's grandfather. The king fell, and the prophecy had come true. Perseus had caused the death of the man who had tried to get rid of him. Perseus was sad. He had never wanted to hurt his grandfather, but he knew that fate was sometimes beyond anyone's control. He flew back to his kingdom, where the people hailed him as a hero. They cheered for his bravery in defeating Medusa and for saving Princess Andromeda. Perseus was a hero, but he felt the weight of the prophecy on his heart. In the years that followed, Perseus used Medusa's head to bring peace to the kingdom. Anyone who tried to harm the people was turned to stone. The people were safe, and the kingdom thrived. But Perseus kept the head hidden, knowing that even a hero could become too powerful if he wasn't careful. The gods had given him a great gift, but they also gave him a great responsibility. As a reward for his bravery, Perseus was given the winged horse Pegasus to ride whenever he wished. Pegasus became his trusted companion, helping him fly across the kingdom to protect the people. Together they soared through the skies, bringing hope to everyone below. Though Perseus was now a king, he always remembered the lessons he had learned. He knew that being brave didn't mean never feeling scared, and he knew that even heroes had to make difficult choices. Perseus always tried to lead with kindness and wisdom, remembering the gods who had helped him on his journey. The kingdom flourished under Perseus and Andromeda's rule. The people were happy and safe, and Perseus made sure to honor those who had helped him along the way. Even as a king, Perseus never forgot where he came from. He always stayed humble, never letting his hero status change who he was at heart. Though many years had passed, Perseus was always ready to defend his kingdom. One day, an army of monsters attacked, but Perseus was not afraid. With Medusa's head, he turned the monsters to stone and saved the kingdom once again. But this time, he didn't just use the power for war. He used it to protect his people and to show that even in the darkest times, hope could shine through. Perseus grew old, but his legacy never faded. The people of his kingdom remembered his bravery, his kindness, and the strength of his heart. They told stories of the hero who defeated Medusa and saved Princess Andromeda. And they never forgot that even heroes must stay true to their hearts. On his last day, Perseus looked back at the kingdom he had saved and the family he had built. He knew his journey had been long, but he had lived a life of adventure, love, and honor. He was proud of what he had done, but he was ready to rest. The gods smiled down upon him, knowing that Perseus had fulfilled his destiny. Even though Perseus had passed on, his story lived forever. People still told tales of his bravery, and his name was remembered by generations to come. And so the great hero Perseus, the slayer of Medusa, the savior of Andromeda, and the king who ruled with kindness, was never forgotten. His legacy lived on in every heart that believed in courage, hope, and love.